If you ask me what makes me happy, a simple thing like a fruit and nut ice cream, a tub of fruit and nut ice cream is enough for me to be happy. What about you? So, let's welcome our first speaker, Setun Galage, on stage to talk about the science of happiness.
Are you happy? Do you have an answer for my question? I think yes. I am also happy, and that's why I thought of talking about happiness today. Science of happiness is the study of what makes people happy and how to increase happiness. It knows the study of the brain and social relationships. It changes the behavioral patterns of human and activities. By changing behavioral patterns of humans, we can make people more happier. So my happiness depends on little things. My school ends at 1:10 p.m. and when in exam seasons it ends before 30 minutes or an hour. In that time period, I and my friends get to the ground and play rugby until we get exhausted. We play rugby like we are crazy. We fight, argue, and get injured. And when we came home, our shirts are torn up. And our mothers always scold us. So my happiness is playing rugby. An occupation, a hobby, and even a sport can give you happiness. So let's start with basics. Happiness. We often think it is a feeling of joy, contentment, or well-being. Research in fields like psychology, neuroscience, and economics, happiness is much more than a fleeting emotion. It is a thing that can be measured, studied, and understood. So, what makes us happy? The answer might surprise you. Contrary to popular belief, happiness doesn't come from external sources like money or fame. It comes from internal factors. Much of them we have the power to control. One of the key layers of science of happiness is a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is released when we gain pleasure and when we eat our favorite food, when we achieve our goal, and even when we laugh with our friend. The more dopamine we have, the happier we feel in that moment. However, research shows that long-term happiness comes from more than temporary pleasure. Gratitude is another powerful source. Studies have found by practicing gratitude, we can increase our happiness levels. When we pay attention for what we are thankful for, we shift our attention from what we are lack, which reduces the stress and increases the feelings of contentment. So let's not wait for happiness to come for us. Let's create it.
Okay, audience, feel relaxed. Yeah, this is a script. Okay, anyway, I'll read that. I love music. From the old Baila tunes they play to the latest hits they blast in the three-wheelers. I'm a fan, even though my singing sounds like a cat stuck in a drain pipe. We have today Dulya Utkarsha here today to explore the power of music on children's well-being. Let's give her a warm welcome.
The power of music on children's well-being. I'm so happy to be here to talk about something I love. Music. Music isn't just fun, it's magical. It makes us happy, helps us learn, and brings us closer to the people we love. Let me tell you why music is so amazing. But first, here's a little relaxing music to all of you. Close your eyes and listen. Don't open your eyes until the music stops. Okay, let me ask you a question. What did you feel? How music makes us feel. Have you ever been sad and then heard a fun music that made you smile? That's the magic of music. It makes us feel better when we're upset and makes happy times even more exciting. When you sing or dance to your favorite song, it's like your heart is saying thank you. Music is like a hug for your feelings. How music helps us learn. Music isn't just fun, it also makes us smarter. Have you ever sung the ABC song? That's music helping you learn. You focus, practice, and think creatively. Even if you just hum a tune, music makes your mind grow. Music brings people together. Music is even better when we share it. Singing with friends or dancing together is so much fun. It teaches us to listen, take turns, and enjoy being a team. In school, school, joining a choir or a music club can help us make new friends. Music connects us all like a big invisible string. Music for everyone. What's so cool about music is that it helps everyone, even kids who don't talk much or finding things harder than others. Music helps them express themselves, maybe by humming, tapping, or even smiling to a beat. It's a superpower that works for everyone. Let's add music to our lives. Here are some fun ways we can enjoy music. I'm also doing these things in my life. First, sing a song. Sing with your friends, your family, or even just yourself. Second, make some music. Play an instrument and use a pot and spoon as a drum. Third, dance around. Put on your favorite song and have a mini dance party. Last one. Join a music group, sing in the choir, or try out for the school band. Let me end with another beautiful song. Please enjoy it. Every night in my dreams I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you. Go on. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you. Go near, far, wherever you are. I believe that's the hard times. Go on. One small, you open the door, and you hear in my heart, and my heart will go and on. Okay, let's fill our days with music. It makes us happy, helps us learn, and brings us closer together. Music is truly magical.
When I was a kid, during school vacation, I loved watching cartoons and movies. I'd watch Sirius TV and goodness, Harry Potter. Let's just say Voldemort and I were practically neighbors. Our next speaker, Sanuki Sandalima, thinks watching cartoon is really important. So let's welcome her with a round of applause.
Have you ever warned your kids not to watch cartoon? Have you criticized watching cartoon? Wait, I have other story to tell you through my own experience. Cartoon gives
chance to explore several languages such as English, German, French, and several languages. I learned most of the English words from Hey Duggy cartoon. I learned some German words through Peppa Pig cartoon. One day, on a trip at Peradane Botanical Garden, I met a German uncle and aunt. I got a chance to apply my learned German words to them. I tell them Guten Morgen, which is good morning in German. I tell them my name. Hello, ich bin Sanuki. They were delighted. Thanks to cartoon, I also were delighted. Another day, I could help to a German tourist who traveled by train. His phone battery was low and my father asked him how did he can help. Tourist said that the problem was to find the Ragam station and put down by the train. At that time, I heard father's conversation. I was alertly looking at the passing station. I told him. He put down by the train and he thanked to me. Moreover, my family relations live in various countries like France, Japan, Dubai, New Zealand and Australia. But their food, culture and climate changes are not new things for me. Because of cartoon, I learned them well. Cartoon teach things smoothly and attractively. When cartoons are foreign language, you can get to know correct pronunciation and language pattern. Example, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Not only foreign cartoons, but also local cartoon helps to apply to our lives. From Dostara Honda Hita, Tanakola Petta's group song. Cartoon helps to start learning process on early stage of kids. Especially Cocomelon and Woofu cartoons learn shapes, colors and it's fun learning. Moving colorful speaking pictures makes interest. Cartoon increase problem solving and logical ability of kids. Tintin, Winnie the Pooh and Peppa Pig cartoon gives chance to them. One day, I was Winnie the Pooh cartoon. It's Halloween day. A rabbit bought a big pumpkin to decorate. Beef cut out a face, but she make a big hole above mistake. Rabbit was sad. Pooh then used the pumpkin pieces and make a picture of the three of them. Now, I also use problem solving likewise. I like Pooh Bear cartoon so much because it's so cute and gives us a message. Piglet had ride a bicycle and he fell down. He hurt himself and got a boo-boo. He cries and says, I never ride a bicycle again. Pooh then put a bandage on Piglet's boo-boo, give him a hug and make him feel better. So, like Pooh Bear, we all should help our friends when they're in trouble. I also hug them. Cartoon reshape and gives knowledge to good habit. Have you ever felt fine when returning library books? I have an experience. I have been fined due to late returns of my library books. But one day I watched Winnie the Pooh cartoon. Peppa Pig's dad had to pay fine due to late returns of the library books. So, I and my family members used to return the books before time. I request you to do it. Another day, I was Marsha and the bear. Marsha suddenly got hiccups. She take a deep breath like... Then she drank some water and blew her balloon. Her hiccups were gone. So I also tried to end my hiccups. Yes, you're right. Some people may feel that watching cartoon is bad for kids' education and behavior. Because of some cartoons give bad concept like disrespecting the teachers, elders, and bullying to friends. Yes, I also think so. Some cartoon gives bad example for kids, but especially parents and kids need to select good cartoon. Lord Buddha also said if you go extreme level, it is bad. Every time we need to go middle. So, same theory we can apply for the watching cartoon, all of the above. Don't spend time in front of the TV and watching cartoon. You can allocate special period by watching some selected cartoon. Actually, I thank to my parents. They selected and they allowed to watch good cartoon. I also can select good cartoon which help me to develop my education, learning new things and new languages. My humble request is you to apply my example. Dear parents, still will you tell your kids not to watch cartoon?
Dreams. We all have them, don't you? And today, we are making one of mine come true. Our next speaker, Fatima Dihania, believes in chasing those dreams. Let's hear her out and get inspired.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and my dear friends. Today, I want to share you a story that begins with a girl lost in a dream. Picture this. Oh my God. She was running through the woods, skillfully dodging obstacles, battling imaginary warriors who were hot on her heels. In her mind, she was on a quest to find a golden diamond dressed in a beautiful bridal dress. A bridal dress? What a humorous dream! But then, suddenly, reality interrupted her fantasy. Her grandmother's voice, sharp and persistent, broke through. Buddha, wake up! And just like that, the girl woke up, jolted from her magical dream. Though she initially searched the woods in her room, and then she realized that it had all been a figment of her imagination. And she still loved living in that fantasy world, a place where limitations did not exist. And you know, imagining is powerful. It is the ability to conjure new ideas or to think creatively. For children, it is especially important as it allows them to explore their creativity and to use their minds in wonderful new ways. Now, let's journey back into the story again. This girl was not just a dreamer. She was talented too. She secured the third place in her entire class. But her playful spirit overshadowing her focus, she struggled during her exams. She thought her usual charm would carry her on. But to her dismay, she ended up fourth place instead. The disappointment weighed heavily on her shoulders. While she stood, lost and isolated, only her mother and her aunt provided her comfort. They said her, success is going from failure to failure with a loss of enthusiasm. Failure is the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. And it was not just an innocent lesson. It was all stuck with her. And many of you might recognize the story of Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple. Did you all know that he was fired from his own company? Imagine how he felt. Devastated. But instead of succumbing to despair, he shifted his mindset and he created Pixar, and eventually returning triumphantly to Apple. And just like he did, we too must chase our dreams. I too have many dreams. But my recent exam failure shook me to my core. It shattered my confidence and left me questioning my own abilities. But I tried hard. I dedicated mornings and nights to hard work, visualizing a new path, talking to myself, looking at the mirror, saying failure is a path to success. As the second term exams approached, I perceived it. And guess what? I not only did my exams well, I seized and coveted the first place in my entire class. This powerful lesson is an experience I got in my life that we should fail to grasp the true meaning of success. No one achieves greatness in their life without facing setbacks. Many of us, we get caught up to what other people say, but we listen to ourselves too little. You don't have to be perfect according to others. If your heart is perfect from within, then that is what counts. Remember, life is filled with many challenges, but if we view an adversity as an opportunity, we transform our weaknesses into strengths. Just like me, you are talented. Don't let negative words define you. If you fail, don't be deterred by the failure. Instead, meet it with resilience. Okay. And I remember at age 10, I excelled at sports, a champion runner. But due to a health issue, I had to step back. Even recently during a sport meet at my school, my illness prevented my participation, leaving me to grapple with disappointment of classmates' inquiries. Yet deep down, I know that I will overcome this battle because sports are my passion and I refuse to let this struggle define me. So, always we should be prepared for what lies ahead. And as I stand before you today, I aspire to be a lawyer. Even in my dreams, I used to chase the golden diamond. Did you know what is that? It is my future. So I ask you all, what is your golden diamond? And what treasure lies within you to be discovered? We all have our unique gifts, our own talents. So let's be prepared for that. So, we should be prepared for what lies ahead. So that is why our life is unpredictable. Time is a beautiful teacher. It filters out all the extras from our lives, leading us to our truer self, the self that we should believe. So always be ready and believe in yourself. Don't be shy of taking risks. And always love yourself, believe in yourself, no matter what trial you face in the future. Oh no, my grandmother again. Poda, wake up. Back to you.
What's the magic behind virtues? They are like the shining stars of our character, the good qualities that make us who we are. Does our education system help us polish those stars? So Pipi Sidangana will explore how education and virtues intertwine. Get ready for some insights.
Education is not only the knowledge of the book, but also the process of developing deep understanding of environment in which a child lives, the society, people they associate with, and their behaviors and social responsibilities. Along With this educational process, a child's style of speech, listening, and paying attention to others, and living by following changes in society through good behaviors are also very important for the development of child's virtues. The first teachers of a child are parents. First, they teach a child what is good and bad. Then, through preschools and schools. Teachers also get involved and provide basic education, qualities, and role models to the child. Parents should spend time with their children daily and understand their problems and needs. Otherwise, children tend to find solutions on their own. But in today's society, although children are born with a desire to learn, they are weak in virtues. The human connection between each other is very low. The aim is to outdo each other in competitions. This creates jealousy, anger, and mental breakdown in the minds of children. Parents also responsible to some extent. That is because they do not give children a proper understanding of victory and defeat, but show the way to victory. Today's society has been destroyed by moral values. An era has dawned where children have parents and parents having children. Dear mothers and fathers, do the idea I have said today reflect your role, right? In school, teachers should pay attention to the development of discipline, efficiency, and social skills in children. Programs should be implemented. Here, teachers can take appropriate measures to overcome the influences and challenges that are faced by the development of moral values in parallel with education in the school. Accordingly, in addition to the subject taught to student can be provided with knowledge about morality through parables and character stories. Also, students should be accustomed to a formal behavior pattern by using opportunities such as Sinhala literary competitions, English day competitions, art festivals, and sports festivals. Unity, cooperation, and brotherhood can be taught well through team feelings. All students should be given leadership through the school. Leadership can teach children to be cooperative. Also, in addition to the knowledge given to children in the classroom, many other things can be given to life. But in today's society, due to strong decline in moral values, teachers' respect, and students' discipline are gradually being destroyed, isn't it? Society should also contribute to the development of children's moral value. In particular, it is important to show children good examples, provide opportunities for the development of their social skills, and help them grow as moral citizens. However, children have deteriorated greatly due to the irresponsibility of responsible people in today's society. I ask the audience whether you all accept that it is through mobile phones, mass media, and social media that have been introduced into the society without proper management. As parents, teachers, and adults, we should try to guide children to the right path and direct them to do only right things, as well as teach good and bad children and make our children as a good citizen of society. By developing moral values along with education, it is possible to produce a generation of children who are not a problem for society and the country. The goal of developing children's moral value is a long-term task that all parents, teachers, and adults must accomplish together. So, in conclusion, I have to say, developing moral values along with education of children makes a great contribution to the development of their personality, morality, and social skills. Therefore, parents, teachers, and adults must accomplish together to support the holistic development of children. As we reflect on our roles in this journey, let us remember that the virtues we instill in children today will shape the leaders, innovators, and compassionate individuals of tomorrow. Together, let us commit to fostering an environment that values and nurtures virtue, ensuring a brighter future for children and our communities. I hope you have understood my ideas and suggestions. So do not delay. Each of you contributes to building a child full of virtues along with education.
Have you ever stopped thinking about how a single kind word or action can change someone's day? We all know kindness can change lives, but sometimes we need a gentle reminder. Today we have Digayu Devram here to do that. Let's welcome him and discover the importance of kind heart.
Have you ever noticed how a small smile can make someone's day better? Oh, how helping a friend to do their homeworks can make them feel really happy. Well, that's the power of kindness. It's like a tiny little seed that can grow into a big, beautiful tree, making the whole world a better place. Kindness can change the world. If someone forget to bring their lunch, we had to share our meals with them without even thinking. We had to say nice things to each other, even if we didn't know them very well. Kindness can be super simple. Hold the door open for someone, give a small gift to a classmate, draw a picture for a friend who is feeling down, share your toys with others. Kindness is like a boomerang. When we are kind, it makes others feel good too. And that makes them want to be kind to others. It's like a big chain reaction, spreading happiness everywhere we go and coming back us as well. So, let's all be a kindness zero. Let's make every day a chance to spread kindness. One smile, one helping hand, one nice word at a time. Do you have any ideas how we can be kind today? Okay, I'll tell you a little incident. There was a street dog living near to our lane. It always aggressive and feared everyone. It always barking at people's vehicles and also bite other dogs. One day, he was trying to jump off scooter and bite us. Therefore, no one likes him at all and always kick out of from our lane. One day, when we were coming back home, I saw that dog face an accident and suffering with bad injuries. But no one was caring about him at all. But I feel so sad for him and I asked from Dad, shall we help him? Without any hesitation. We took him to animal clinic and did some treatments. And we arranged a shelter and gave medicines and meals as well. Then, other children at our lane also began to take care of street dogs. And we give meals and we all take care about him. Very soon, the dog get well and start to walk. Then it was very friendly one with us and never get rude. Then we call him Bousy. It became a kind dog and always appeared to us. Then we call him Bousy. It became a kind dog and always appeared to us. Kindness is like a seed that can grow into something big. Small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Okay, kindness is like a seed that can grow into something big. Small acts of kindness can make a big difference. When we are kind, it makes others feel good too. And everyone can be a kindness hero. Kindness can change the world. Encourages them to think how they can incorporate kindness into their daily lives.
Now, let's take a moment to shift the mood and enjoy something truly special. I'm delighted to invite Netoli Pereira on stage, where she will enchant us with a beautiful song that is sure to touch our hearts.
Michelangelo, but of course, I have mastered the art of winning over kids. Our next speaker says art makes him creative. Let's welcome Isabel Mandi on stage with a round of applause.
When I was 3 years old, I drew so many pictures. One of these was very special to me. It was a picture of my Lakwama going to school with me. And you may have a problem. How can I go to school if I am only 3 years old? I don't know how the idea comes to me, but it makes me happy. Next day, I showed to my family members. They all passed the book and looked at it very closely. They all wondered, how can I draw a picture like this? They impressed me very well. And that was the beginning of my journey. My sister was always behind of my creations. With her guidance, I have come to a higher place. And these are some of it. So let me tell you, what is art? It isn't something we enjoy. Even we can take a photo has been taken by a photographer. I want you to understand, we don't need a talent to do art. It's a common way to say. The creativity produces from human skills and imaginations. And then we think to a beautiful flower garden. The beauty produces from the flowers. I mean, the creativity only doesn't come from human skills and imaginations. To me, art is a language. When I feel uncomfortable, I always draw. It helps to me express my ideas and thoughts. It helps to me my soul grow. So let's further explore. How does art make us realistic? Art encourages us. It helps us to express our ideas and thoughts. Art improves neurotransmitters such as dopamine, which is enhance your mood. When you draw art, your mind is concentrated to your picture and you know where to go, what to do next. And if there's no art, our lives will be dark. If you don't like to draw, even you can sing or else take photos. During the COVID-19 season, my mother was always in the hospital. To chase away my loneliness, I always draw. So let's think, how does people look through in art? There are different ways people look through art. Imagine, there's a picture which has a red sky. Some people think it's represents behind the sky, it represents war. Because blood is red. Some people think it's romance behind the picture. All these ideas were unique to each other. Let's think. You and your two friends going to museum. There's a picture which has very attracted to your mind. You say it's the best picture I have ever seen. But other two friends' ideas was very unique. One says it's the ugliest picture I have ever seen. And other friend even doesn't know what it is. All these ideas was unique to each other. Your writing way, your singing way, your thinking way is only endemic to you. Also, a round world gives us a creative eye. Think, the river falling where the river falling tide gives us a creative eye. Also, the Tower Eiffel, Liberty gives us a creative eye. I'll tell you a story. When I was 3 years old, my teacher tells me a story. There's an artist who doesn't like to draw. One day, his child gave him a pen written by Magic Man. The child says to the artist to draw something. But the artist said, I can't draw. But the child says, it's okay, give it ahead. The artist started to draw something. And it wasn't good. The artist draws every morning. He could see around the world. He draw bell, the door, the window, or an eraser. But he won't give up. He tried and tried. And one day, he saw his kettle on the table. He started drawing it. And it was a very beautiful picture. The artist shows it to his child. The child doesn't say anything. The artist draws everywhere. Is in the hospital or in a market or in a vacation. The drawings, some people buy him drawings. Artists earn some money. But one day, the magic pen stopped writing. The artist was very sad. And artist tells to his child. But the child says, it isn't a magic pen. The magic pen encouragement have give you the beautiful drawing skills. I want you to say that too. We don't need talent to do art. Only we need the achievement and encouragement to do that. Also, you can achieve your dreams by doing D3 concept. D3 concept means you have to get a dream, you have a determination for that, and you have a dedication for that. From these 3 steps, you can achieve your dreams too. So remember, art is a legend to our life. It helps us to be happy and more creativity than we think.
Trust. It's like the password to my phone. You wouldn't just give that out to anyone, would you? Especially not to your wife. That joke didn't come very well. It's okay. Anyway, we have Dahamdi Diansa here today who clearly understands the delicate balance of trust. Let's give her a round of applause.
Do you trust your luck? Well, of course, I trust my luck. But most of the people think that they are unlucky enough to make a big mess within 1 second. I also has experienced some unlucky times, but still I trust myself. Simply because I always say to myself that every mistake is going to make you perfect. So bear your unluck too. But unfortunately, I'm not here to talk about luck or unluck. I'm here to make you understand what is trustworthy and how can we make a healthy relationship through trustworthy. So, let me tell you what is trustworthy. Something that trustworthy is a similar word for believing someone or else being reliable. But to me, trustworthy is more than just a word. I think trustworthy is the foundation of a healthy relationship. It acts as the main role. Like a strong tree has a strong root system. Think, if there's no trustworthy, how can you call a woman your mom? You always have a doubt, is she my mom or else is she not? I could remember there was a girl in my class called Naduli. And she had a straight problem with dealing others and trusting others. I and my best friend were so curious about her behavior and we want to find the truth beneath her behavior. So we gathered up our courage and went to her. Then asked her, "Why are you behaving like this?" Her answer was nothing. But we didn't give up. We tried to ask the same question from our teachers. And the story that our teacher told us was shocking. When she was 3 years old, her father has promised her to be the best dad in the world, to take care of her, to raise her well. But unfortunately, that never happens because her father was a drug addicted and her mother hated that habit. As a result, her father left her alone with her mother. Since that time, she is behaving like this. So, I and my best friend decided to help her. We decided to make it was actually hers. Think a bird flying in the sky and it gets tired. So it lands on a branch. But would the bird trust the branch to hold it, or else would the bird trust its wings? Definitely the answer is bird trusts its wings. I have seen countless birds flying in the sky and landing on branches, but I have never seen a bird falling from a branches helplessly, because every time that happens, the bird flies. So, every time someone betrays you, be strong enough to bear that. Be confident of your abilities. If you don't have the confidence to trust yourself, then how can you trust others? First, start by yourself. You can lie to anyone, but you can't lie to yourself, because yourself always knows the truth. So, when I tell you don't lie to yourself, it means being honest and telling the truth. So, how does this truth relate to trustworthy? Truth is something that we can never ever separate from trustworthy. Between truth and trust, there's a strong bond. According to Sir Abdul Kalam, he says, if you don't trust people, then you won't say the truth. If you don't say the truth, people won't trust you. So, it's like an endless ripple that starts over again. Imagine, there's a mirror in front of you. What can you see? You can see yourself clearly. But once you break it, can you see yourself clearly the way you saw it before? No, you can't. Because there are cracks on the mirror. Trustworthy is also like that. Once you break it, you can never fix it again. Even though you fix it, it won't be the same. For every mistakes on this world have a second chance. But to trustworthy, there's no something called second chance. It only has one chance. So, this mirror is in your hand and it is your responsibility to protect it or whether to break it.
So, I have this cat. Her name is Tasha. And honestly, the way she shows her love, it's amazing. It got me thinking, our next speaker, Bulaniti Hansa, wants to talk about why having a dog is so important. I think she might be hinting she's hoping for one. So let's welcome her on stage.
There are various types of pets, such as dogs, cats, hamsters, rabbits, and such many more. My favorite type of pet is a dog. I used to have a dog when I was in grade 4. It was a Rhodesian Ridgeback. He was black in color, so I called him Blackie. He was my best friend and I played with him, I watched TV with him, and I did more things with him. When I come from school, he used to jump into me and lick me. I also used to hug him so hard, which my parents didn't allow me to do so. Day by day, he grew up and became so mischievous. He needed lots of space to run. But we didn't have enough space to run, so that he started to open the gate and go out. Most of the time, he stayed outside. Though he used to go out, he remembered to get home at the time I come from school. During this period, my parents were so annoyed because Blackie has already become a stray dog. But I still used to touch him, hug him, and play with him. One day, when I come from school, I noticed that Blackie wasn't there at the gate where he usually stays when I come from school. When I noticed that Blackie wasn't there at the gate where he usually stays, I felt so sad. I went with my grandfather to search him, but we couldn't find him. When I noticed that we won't be able to find him ever again, I cried and cried as much as I can to forget him. But I couldn't forget him because we had such wonderful memories. Do you know what they are? When I put playhouses, he used to come into my playhouse and play with me. And also we played hide and seek and fetch. As I'm the only child in my family, I feel bored without. As I'm the only child in my family, Blackie stayed behind me as my cuddle buddy and best friend. When I'm moody and in stressful moment, I used to play with Blackie, and that gives me a good mental satisfaction. My dear parents, have you heard that it had been scientifically explored that the mental and physical health benefit that a pet can give us in our human-animal bond? Pets also reduces the stress of life. Just like when I felt when my doggy was with me. But how? When my doggy was with me, I used to pet him by touching him and giving hugs. When we touch our pet like this, both our body and pets releases a hormone called oxytocin, which is linked to the emotional bonding. We called it the love hormone. Likewise, when we play with our pets, also raises the level of dopamine and serotonin, which calm and relax us. Have you all heard that even the dangerous criminals in prison show long-term changes in their behavior after interacting with pets? As many of them experiencing mutual affection for the first time. Even some studies show that when a child grew up with pets, especially dogs, improves their self-esteem, social skills, and cognitive development. So, as children, when pets are with us, especially dogs, gives us unconditional love and overall happiness. So they not only gives us overall health, but also teach us how to make empathy with others. So as I'm the only child in my family, I feel bored without a doggy. So my humble request to my family is to bring me a doggy before I grow up, because I also like to feel the happiness of childhood.
let's be honest, the laziest thing for me to do is eating. I would like to have a robot to feed me. I know I would one day. Speaking of robots and the future, our guest speaker, Inesh Bandara, is here to talk about the future of robots. Let's welcome him on stage.
Raise your hand if you'd ever wish for a robot to do your homework, clean your room, or to train your dog to stop eating your socks. Well, guess what? The future is here, and it's crazier than a monkey riding a unicycle. Today, let's dive into the world of brainy bots like ChatGPT and their superhero sidekicks, humanoid robots. They are like turning a walking, talking encyclopedia into Iron Man's best friend, Jarvis. And don't worry, I'll explain the big words. First, picture this. You are stuck on a maths problem. Fractions are crawling across your page like angry ants. Suddenly, a robot buddy zooms in, solves it in seconds, and says, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then he fist bumps you so hard that your hand feels like it won the lottery. That's the future we are talking about. First up, LLMs, large language models. These bots are like the Sherlock Holmes of the internet. They've read every book, watched every movie, and memorized every meme. ChatGPT, it's that friend who's sharp as a tack, but can't even tie their shoelaces. But ask it to write a poem about broccoli, and voila, you would get rhymes like green and proud, nature's tiny tree. But why won't kids eat me? Last week, I asked ChatGPT to write me a sorry, I ate your chips apology to my sister. It suggested on using haiku, a Japanese poem. And this is what he wrote. Crunchy salty bliss. The bag is empty. Oops. Don't tell mom. Love me. Total genius. But if I'd actually ask it to buy me a packet of chips, it'd be clueless than a goldfish trying to drive a forklift. This is the problem with brainy bots. They are all brain, no brawn. Two peas in a pod need each other, right? Well, imagine giving ChatGPT's brain robot body. Boom. Now you got a robot who can fetch your soda from the fridge and can even explain quantum physics. This is where humanoid robots swoop in. They can walk, talk, and even dab. Take Asimo, a robot by Honda who can dance better than my uncle at a wedding. Or Sophia, who once joked, I will destroy all humans. But don't worry, she's as dangerous as about a pillow fight. Did you know in Japan, robots are used in hospitals to deliver medicine to patients faster than a cheetah on roller skates? Or NASA's Valkyrie, who fixes spaceships while in orbit. He was made because NASA's astronauts needed a robot who doesn't need oxygen. Spot, the dog bot, who was made by Boston Dynamics. He could climb through rubble and rescue people. Imagine a firefighter who doesn't fear flames. Cooler than a polar bear's toenails. Robots aren't perfect. My cousins tried to train their dog to fetch, but instead it fetched his dad's slipper and threw it at him. It's like training a cat to play the piano. Possible, but don't expect a symphony. Not all that glitters is gold. What if your robots glitch? Houston, we got a problem. What if a car has to choose between, a self-driving car has to choose between a hitting cactus or a car? Yikes. Or your robot turns into a pancake flipping zombie. This is why we need rules, like your mother's no cookies before dinner law. But here's the scoop. You have the power to maybe invent the next ChatGPT. Or finally, a robot that explains why socks disappear in the dryer. So, when I was 10, I made a robot by gluing Legos to broken calculators. It couldn't even add 2 plus 2. But guess what? Practice makes perfect. Start small. Ask questions like, why can't my robot see? Or why can't my toaster tell jokes? Join a coding club, like Tinker with Kids. But always remember, curiosity didn't just bother the cat, it invented the iPhone. Friends, we are standing on the shoulders of giants, inventors, dreamers, and yes, even the kids who glued Legos to calculators. Let's build a future where humans and robots are two peas in a pod, cracking jokes, solving problems, and having fun, like a water balloon fight on a hot day. Thank you. And remember, even Iron Man needed Jarvis. So go out there and build your own legend.
Have you ever bombed an exam? Me? Never. Okay, maybe once. But Yuha's Windy believes failures make us stronger. Maybe he'll tell us the secret of passing those exams without actually studying. Let's hear what he has learned. Please welcome him on stage.
Today, I'm here to talk about something we all experience but don't always like to talk about: failure. When I say failure, what comes to your mind? You might think about getting a question wrong in class, falling off your bike, or losing a game. It does not feel good, right? But I'm here to tell you something really important. Failure is not bad. In fact, it can teach us some amazing lessons. Let me share a story about myself. Something that happened when I was younger. When I was in grade 1, I started learning to swim. I was so excited. I imagined myself gliding through the water like a fish. But on my first day, I was also a bit scared. The pool felt big and the water felt deep, even though it was just a baby pool. At first, I used the kickboard, which helped me feel safe. But after a few days, I started swimming without one. I was doing well actually, feeling confident and calm, until one day, something really bad happened. My coach told me to swim around the pool, so I happily did. But after a few minutes, when I reached the deep end, I started feeling a bit tired. I wanted to take a break and stop swimming. Without realizing, I might sink. Since it was the deep end, where my feet cannot touch the bottom, I did. It was a terrifying moment, but somehow I managed to push through and swim to the other side. Do you know the most embarrassing part? No, right? I'll tell you. Every other kid and the coach couldn't stop laughing. They didn't mean to be mean, but I felt so humiliated and sad watching them laugh at my poor situation. Poor me. I wanted to disappear from that place. That evening, when I told my mom about it and told her I don't want to swim anymore, my mom didn't get mad. She didn't even say, "Oh, just get over it. Instead, she told me something that changed my way of thinking. She asked me, "Remember when your little sister started walking?" I nodded, yes. She crawled first, then took a few steps and fell. Did she give up? No, I said. That's right, my mother continued. Every time she fell, she learned a way to balance until she could walk without help. That's life. If you give up now, you'll never succeed in future. That conversation made me think. Imagine if babies gave up after falling the first time. None of us would be walking today. You see, it's okay to fail as long as we don't give up. So, even though my mom's words stayed with me, I skipped a few swimming sessions for a few months. But during that time, I mentally prepared myself. When I finally returned and continued my lessons, I realized I wasted my precious practice time simply because I took others' opinions and behaviors too personally. That felt like a huge failure. But looking back, I see it as a lesson. One that taught me the importance of resilience and not letting others' opinions or behaviors hold me back. If I had quit swimming that day, I would never learn to swim. But after a break, I kept going. And guess what? I got better. And today, what do you think? Am I a good swimmer? No. Not yet. I'm still learning. But much better than I was before. Little by little, I'm improving. And that's what matters. And another thing, failure can also teach us how to be brave. Imagine if Thomas Edison, the great inventor of the light bulb, gave up after his first mistake. He failed after 1,000 times before he got it right. But he didn't see those mistakes as failures, but as steps towards success. Many other people share the same stories, proving that resolution is the key to success. So, how can we learn from failures? Does anyone know? No, right? I'll tell you. There are 3 tips. 1. Don't give up. Mistakes happen, but that doesn't mean you can't improve. 2. Ask for help. A parent, a teacher, or a friend can give an advice or show you a better way. Number 3, stay positive. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I'll try again," or "I'll do better next time." So, my message is to you is today simple. Don't be afraid to fail. If something feels too hard right now, that doesn't mean you can't improve. It just means you haven't mastered it yet. Failure is like a teacher, helping us grow stronger, smarter, and more confident. So, the next time you feel like giving up, remember my little sister learning to walk. Remember that every mistake is just a step towards success. So, I want you to do something for me. The next time you feel like giving up, instead of saying, "I can't do this," just say, "I can't do this yet." What? I can't do this yet. And keep going. Because with effort, patience, and a little belief in yourself, you'll get there.
It's time to add some energy to the atmosphere with a vibrant performance. I'm excited to invite our grade 7 students on stage who will mesmerize us with a captivating dance.
You said no, 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 I said no, 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 no. You say take me home, I said no, Perignon. You said no, 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 I said no, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Hasta la vida loca, 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 loca. Te encanta la música, te toca, toca, toca. Hasta la vida loca, 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 loca. Te encanta la música, te toca, toca, toca.
I wanna see rain on me forever. Rivers of champagne, celebrate together. I wanna see rain on me forever. Rivers of champagne, celebrate together.
Hasta la vida loca, 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 loca. Te encanta la música, te toca, toca, toca. Hasta la vida loca, 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 loca. Te encanta la música, te toca, toca, toca. Toca, toca, toca. Hasta la vida loca, 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 loca. Te encanta la música, te toca, toca, toca. Hasta la vida loca, 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 loca. Te encanta la música, te toca, toca, toca.
I see your eyes every day and every night, and I wanna hold you, love you till the end of time. Throw the night, cause I want you in my life, and I wanna love you, I will never make you cry.
Hasta la vida loca, 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 loca. Te encanta la música, te toca, toca, toca. Hasta la vida loca, 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 loca. Te encanta la música, te toca, toca, toca. Toca, toca, toca.
They say chess is a game of kings. Well, I say it's a game of absolute brain melting difficulty. Our next speaker, Inara Tahani, says chess transformed her life. I am picturing her beating grandmasters while blindfolded. Let's find out how.
When you hear the word COVID-19, what comes into your mind? Lockdown, online classes, or death? None of these come to my mind. And the reason is that the corona lockdown period changed my whole life by giving me a new goal and guiding me into a new path. I first entered the world of chess during this period. Chess turned me into a new person with new attitudes. So today, I'm happy to share my journey of playing chess and the new me in the world of chess. Have you ever played chess? Chess is a board game played by two players where the goal is to checkmate your opponent's king. Chess is known as one of the most oldest and the most popular board games in the world.
Each player has 16 pieces per side. White plays first, then black. It looks so simple when I tell you, right? But believe me, it requires a certain amount of patience, concentration, and critical thinking. I got to know about this chess when I was in grade 2. But this is what happened even before I knew what chess was. During the corona lockdown when I was at home, my uncle suggested, "What about you start playing chess?" I told, "Okay." And after my uncle taught me how to move the pieces one by one, I made chess my best friend. And also, because we were idle at home, we had plenty of chess tournaments. My mother, my father, my uncles, my aunties, and I participated in it. But as it was just my beginning, I won a game or two and lost the others. But I always believed that practice makes you perfect. Because I remember my first chess tournament in which I achieved the second runner-up. Then I was selected to play in the Under-9 Asian Chess Tournament. Then I got married. Then I remember some other tournaments in which I achieved, in the last year's zonal chess tournament in which I achieved the second place. And then I was selected to play in the provincial tournament in which I achieved 12th place. Afterwards, I was selected to play in the All Island tournament in which I achieved merit. And also, when I started playing chess, my rating was just 800. Now, you all may be wondering what a chess rating is. A chess rating is a number that estimates a player's strength and skill level. Ratings can be divided into two parts as weighted and unweighted. My father introduced me into this first chess platform called chess.com. Now, you all may be wondering what chess.com is. Chess.com is an online platform that is used worldwide. It is known as one of the most competitive and the most popular chess apps in the world. I first achieved a rating in that. Do you think that reaching a very big rating is easy? No, I worked really hard in order to achieve my current rating, that is 1580. Do you think it's easy? No, I had to change my thinking pattern, the way I thought, and my point of view. I had to look from my opponent's perspective. After some time, I was stuck in 900s for a few months. But with the help of my father, who is my coach, I achieved a higher goal, and that was 1580. He emphasized on these four main qualities, and they are patience, concentration, critical thinking, and time management. After I mastered these four qualities, I developed my chess rating and I made it get higher. I didn't learn my weaknesses. I learned my weaknesses and I made them my greatest strength. After some time, I and my father thought of going to one of my opponent's rating status. And what I saw was shocking. When I went, I just checked one of my opponent's rating status, and even though the opponent had played more than 15,000 games, he was still stuck in the 900s. But me, I wasn't like that. Me and my father got together and analyzed my chess games and learned my weak points. One of my newest goals are reaching 2000. Do you think it's easy? No. In order to excel into that rating, I need to work really hard. Because like I told you before, in order to achieve that just 1580, it wasn't easy. So do you think that I can reach 1000 to 2000? No. I need to work really hard. I need to change my thinking pattern a bit more. And also my point of view. My dear audience, I believe that you all will do what you like and find your true self. The next time I meet you, I will definitely reach 2000. Do you think I will? Yes, I definitely will.
I love sports. Even though I might not look sporty, of course, I can run if a dog chases me. Sports teach you so much. Our next speaker, Saif Qasim, will be talking about how sports impact our life. Let's welcome him on stage.
Sports are more than just games. They teach us discipline, teamwork, resilience, and life skills that helps us beyond the field. Sports keep us healthy, help us to make new friends, and to build our character. I chose this topic because sports have shaped me as a person. One particular experience when I broke my leg while playing cricket taught me some of the most important lessons of my life. I will share the story later, but first, let's see why sports are important to everyone. Sports keep us healthy. Sports keep us fit and strong. It reduces the risks of getting the diseases like obesity and heart problems. It improves our stamina, energy, and our overall appearance. For an example, scoring the last shot in a game shows how to handle pressure in that moment. Sports teach us mental health. Playing sports reduces getting stress and anxiety by releasing feeling good hormones throughout our body. It helps us to stay as calm and to build mental togetherness. Sports help teach us life lessons. Sports teach us discipline, teamwork, patience, and hard work. As I told you in the beginning, now I will share my personal story with you all. The biggest challenge of my life was when I broke my leg while playing cricket. In that moment, everything stopped. The pain was intense, but what worried me the most was the thought that I might never play again. It was a difficult time, filled with self-doubt, frustration, and struggle to recover. But the experience taught me resilience. Life is just like sports. It always doesn't go the way you plan. What truly matters is how we rise after we fall. Sports teach us teamwork and leadership. What is teamwork? Well, teamwork is something that you and a team try to achieve a common goal. Well, then what is leadership, you may ask? Well, leadership is something that you guide or support, whether you are not the captain or whether you are not the best player. Supporting them and encouraging them can have a big difference in the outcome. Trust and communication are the key skills that sports teach us. Sports teach us time management. Playing sports while managing to do your studies shows that you can balance multiple responsibilities. It helps us to stay planned and to stay organized. Many of the top athletes across the world have not just succeeded in sports, but they have also succeeded academically. For an example, LeBron James and Serena Williams. Sports build friendships. Sports bring people together, which make lifelong friendships. The shared experiences of victories, defeats, and challenges makes a strong bond within us. Some of my best friends are the ones that I met while playing cricket. Final lesson that sports teach us. Sports prepare us for life by teaching us how to face challenges, to respect others, and to never give up. My injury taught me that you may face difficulties or failures, but you must keep going. Final thought about sports. Sports aren't just about winning or losing. It's about learning and growing and keep improving ourselves every day. So let us keep playing, keep learning, and never give up. Thank you.
Ever acted without thinking? Yeah, I have. But our next speaker, Devmi Sahansa, insists it's a terrible idea. She is here to tell us why we should all be good thinkers. Let's give her a round of applause.
A very good day to all of you. Have you ever thought about how your decisions affect your life? Each and every decision that you take have a huge impact in your life. Just imagine that you have two ways in front of you, but you only get the chance to make the way to the most suitable path. So there, when you are making that decision, you should think about the situation, about the result when you make that decision, and you can compare the decision you are going to make with your past mistakes so that you do not make them again. And you can also think about the nature around you. One of the habits that most of us have is that we have been stuck to our own thoughts or to the stories that hear people talking in the society. So in that time, sometimes we hesitate to make our decisions thinking about what the other people will say about it or what they will talk about us. And my dear audience, I would like to say that people will never talk about the good you do. They will be ready at any time to point a finger towards you, towards your mistakes. So do not hesitate. Step forward and take the right decision. And do not make decisions just because you need to make them or to escape from them. Lack of active thinking may lead to silly reasoning judgments. And I would like to say that on-the-spot decisions are not the best. We do not have time to think properly and analyze the situation before taking the decision. So now I would like to share a little story which I had in my life. I started gymnastics in grade 2. All my friends did it and it looked really cool to me. The flips and stretches. Since they were interesting, I just went to give a tryout. And to my surprise, I performed really well rather than I expected. So the coach joined me to the team. It was such a great news that my parents also agreed with that. So later on, I had so many practice sessions and I improved myself day by day. Then I got the chance to take part in tournaments. And the special thing that I need to tell you about it is about the greatest achievement that I made. I became the championship in under 12 girls Arabic gymnastics. It was all due to the hard practice and patience that I had with the help of my coach. And after this, a hard time was looking out for me. My practice schedules were increased up to 5 to 6 hours from 3 to 4 hours. So it was really hard for me. The next day, it was hard for me to go to school due to the late night practices, and most of my schoolwork was neglected. So I had to cover up the missed work and the school competitions, the events, and my dancing life was missed. So I felt like gymnastics was being an obstacle to my life. But still I had that interest within myself that I wanted to continue gymnastics no matter what. And then in grade 6, I got interested to something really new. Do you know what that is? It is table tennis, which is a really cool sport. It is also fun and it is also a mental game. We have a ball in one hand and a racket in the other hand. All we have to do is play the game by controlling the ball. If we put the ball to a wrong place, we are doomed. So we should make sure that we control the ball properly. In table tennis, I performed really well, and there also I got the chance to get into the team. In that sport also I took part in so many tournaments. But in the first 2-3 tournaments that I took part in, I lost in the first and second rounds. But later on, since I improved myself, I went until the semi-finals, quarter-finals, and also the runner-up. These are some of my achievements. And meanwhile, I had to continue my gymnastic practices also. And there, the practices was being more tough and the coach was being more strict than ever. And most of my schoolwork was missed and my grades were being low a bit. So I felt like gymnastics was being an obstacle to my day-to-day life as well as to my dancing life, which I started since my small age. So I felt like I was enough of gymnastics now. And then later in the end of grade 6, I had an issue in my leg. And the doctor said that if I wanted to continue my dancing life and my day-to-day work in a proper way, and also my table tennis life, I had to quit gymnastics. And I instantly agreed with the doctor because before I didn't have a reason to stop gymnastics. But I really wanted to, as it was being an obstacle to my day-to-day work. As I stopped gymnastics, I got the chance to continue table tennis, and all the things was back to normal. I got the chance to take part in the school events and competitions, and everything was going in a smooth way. In table tennis, since I was getting better, my practice schedules were increased. But I would like to say that in table tennis I made so many experiences and memories with all my friends, and I learned what teamwork is. And what I would like to say about on-the-spot decisions with this example is that about that decision I took in grade 2. When I was taking that decision, I did not think about my future. Just because it looked cool to me, I just took part in it. But when I was making that decision by choosing table tennis, I thought about its consequences and the benefits that I'll have from it. Gymnastics cannot be continued to our old age, because when we get old, our body can't endure the hard practices and the stretches and flexibility stuff. But table tennis is a sport which can be done until any age we want, when we have the mental health and physical health to do that sport. And when making this decision by stopping gymnastics and continuing table tennis, I took an example from one of my friend's life. I had a friend called Yenuli, and she did swimming and basketball. But meanwhile, she had to stop swimming because it was being an obstacle to her normal life. So So she had to stop swimming and continue her journey towards basketball, like I had to continue my journey towards table tennis by stopping gymnastics. So now I want to speak a bit about comparing decisions. By comparing decisions, we can learn and grow by observing the other's choices. We can get inspired and motivated from their work and aim for our own goal. But here, a little bit of self-doubt may be caused. We may think that they are always superior than us, or we may feel that we are missing something within ourselves. But that is what gets us motivated. So I think that balance is the key. It is good to use comparisons as learning opportunities rather than as a measure of self-worth. And there is this great quote said by Fred Shelton: "The right decisions are the hardest to make it, but they should be in order to live the life you deserve." A fulfilled life is never handed over to us. It is us who should make our life fulfilled. To have a better life isn't the easiest thing. To have a better life and the life you deserve, we should make sacrifices and we should have discipline. And most of all, we should have the courage to step out of our comfort zone. So, the main message I wanted to give you is that take advices from the others and use them with your own ideas and take the right decisions. Believe in yourself. Don't be afraid to take risks. Make sure that you take the right decision by thinking carefully. And at last, I have a little question. Now, what are you going to do after going home? Are you going to go home and watch TV? Or are you going to go and do something that will benefit for tomorrow? Think carefully and make sure that you take the right decision.
Pleased to invite Janita Hasal on stage, who will grace us with a heartfelt song that promises to lift our spirit.
It's getting difficult, terrorists don't break, innocent victims. Trust me, darling, trust me, darling. It's been a hopeless year, I'm a man of two fears. We told you the crocodile tears. Trust me, darling, trust me, darling. Look me in the eyes, tell me what you see. Perfect paradise, tearing at the seams. I wish I could escape, I don't wanna fake it. Wish I could erase it, make your heart believe, but I'm a bad liar, bad liar. Now we know, now we know, I'm a bad liar, bad liar. Now we know, we're free to go. All my dreams never mean one thing. This happiness lie on a diamond ring. Oh, I've been asking Oh, I've been asking for problems, problems, problems. I make my war on the war inside. I take my gun to the enemy side. Oh, I've been asking. Oh, I've been asking for problems, problems, problems. Look me in the eyes, tell me what you see. Perfect paradise, cheering at the scenes. I wish I could escape it. I don't wanna fake it. Wish I could erase it. Make your heart believe, but I'm a bad liar, bad liar. Now you know. Now you know I'm a bad liar, bad liar. Now you know you're free to go. I can be what you want me to be. Believe me this one time, believe me. I'm a bad liar, bad liar. Now you know, now you know. I'm a bad liar, bad liar. Now you know, you're free to go.
Next, we have our guest speaker, Fatima Dania, who is ready to talk about embracing a growth mindset. So let's welcome her on stage with a round of applause.
How many of you are aware of the two distinct mindsets that shape our lives every day? That's right, we have the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. According to the American psychologist Carol Dweck, it's estimated that only 40% of people naturally possesses a growth mindset, which raises a thought-provoking reality. If 40% of us are inclined towards growth, it implies that the staggering 60% may still be entrenched in a fixed mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and my dear friends, good afternoon. Now, I ask you, have you recognized whether you are operating from a fixed or a growth mindset? Have you seized the potential benefits of the mindsets you hold? By the end of my speech today, I hope to help you distinguish between the two and inspire you to a path that nurtures growth. To share a bit about myself, I often rely on the wisdom and guidance of my parents and elders. Their advice consistently brightens my day, even during moments of my clumsiness, which I had many. Despite my mistakes, I always didn't heed the lessons they shared. And largely because of the societal pressure to avoid mistakes can be overwhelming. More often than not, I found myself ridiculed from my slip-ups. It just seemed that every error warranted judgment rather than understanding. But my parents taught me an essential lesson. Everyone fears making mistakes. But instead of retreating in fear, one should confront mistakes head on and learn from them. My mother said, Dania, follow these 3 crucial steps that can transform your mistakes into learning experiences. First, acknowledge your mistakes. Recognizing when we erred without diminishing its importance is the first step to growth. Second, Analyze the cause. Reflect on what led to the mistakes, seeking to understand the underlying factors. Third, extract lessons. From each lesson or a mistake, we should identify the key lesson that can guide us in the future. In the past, I found myself trapped in a fixed mindset. I shied away from challenges, viewed setbacks as proof of my inadequacies, and resisted feedback. I believed that talent is an innate quality that couldn't be cultivated. But this perspective shifted dramatically after my experience at a talent show last year. My sister, a friend, and I came to dance together, and we achieved the third place. The satisfaction of our effort overshadowed the outcome. In that moment, I realized that true achievement isn't just winning. It is the lessons you gather along the way. I learned to embrace challenges and view setbacks, not as failures, but as stepping stones to growth. We must learn to embrace challenges and view setbacks, normalize struggle, and realize that challenges are essential for development. But learning over winning should be a mantra. Rather than seeing competitions as measures of ability, we ought to redefine success to measure our personal growth. So, what constitutes a fixed mindset? It's the belief in the static nature of the qualities and capabilities, as highlighted by Carol Dweck. Conversely, a growth mindset believes that our skills can be developed through hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Now, you might wonder, how can we foster growth mindsets in our lives? So, start with small steps each day towards your goals. Talk with yourself with growth-oriented perspective and take actionable steps each day towards your goals. Seek feedback actively and ensure remain you open to it. I remember walking into competitions feeling nervous and often out of place. After facing initial failures, I decided to pivot from recitation to creative writing, an area where I felt more comfortable. I achieved the second place. This success filled me with confidence and proved me that perseverance pays off. To succeed in developing a growth mindset, master these vital principles. First, master your emotion. Your mindset shapes your reality. Replace negative thoughts with affirmations like, I can do this. And second is focus on making yourself happy first. Your happiness is essential. Prioritize goals and make decisions with confidence. Feel free from disappointing others. And the last one is small wins and big gains. Celebrate small victories. They foster and they strengthen your resolve. So, in closing, I want to leave you with this crucial message. Your mindset is your most powerful tool. By cultivating a growth mindset, you unlock new opportunities and facets in life, just like education to relationships, from personal development to career success. So, I ask you to nurture your mind and you should transform your lives. Thank you. Back.
A sharp memory isn't a gift, it's a skill. Well, mine seems to be on permanent vacation. What does that mean? Thankfully, Seansa Lizaldi is here to share some memory boosting tips. Maybe she can help me remember where I put my door keys. Let's welcome her on stage.
I choose simple tips to improve your memory because it provides simple and fun ways to enhance memory. So, kids can remember things better in their daily lives. The speech talks about easy ways to remember things like sleeping well, eating healthy food, and playing memory games. It's simple, fun, and helpful for kids. The topic is easy to understand and gives ideas that kids can use every day to improve their memory. It also makes learning fun and exciting for everyone. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever forgotten where you kept your homework or what your teacher asked you to do? Raise your hand if this has happened to you. Don't worry, it happens to everyone. But today I am going to share some cool and simple tips to improve your memory. And guess what? I'll need your help as we go along. Tip number 1. Sleep well. Who loves sleeping here? Do you know when you sleep, your brain organizes everything you learned during the day? So, if you want to remember things better, make sure to get 8 hours of sleeping every night. Tip number 2. Eat brain boosting food. Let's do a quick quiz. Which of these food are good for your brain? Chocolate, chips, or nuts? Yes, nuts. And also green vegetables and berries. They make your brain feel strong and help you remember more. Tip number 3. Practice and repeat. Let's try this now. I'll say a short sentence and you repeat after me. Practice makes perfect. Great job. Repeating things helps your brain remember them for a long time. Tip number 4. Play memory games. Who loves playing games? Games are like puzzles and memory cards are not just fun. They also train your brain to focus and remember more. Finally, tip number 5. Stay organized. How many of you use notebooks or sticky notes to keep track of things? That's awesome. Writing things down helps your brain feel less stressed and more focused. So, let's quickly recap. Sleep well, eat healthy, practice, repeat, play games, and stay organized. Can everyone give me a thumbs up if you are ready to try these tips? Thank you for being such amazing listeners. Let's start improving your memories today.
never actually ridden a bicycle, like ever. I just could never get the hang of balancing. But I love watching other people ride. So, let's welcome Sandeepa Petni on stage to share her thoughts on the benefits of cycling. Maybe she will teach me how to balance my bicycle. Let's welcome her on stage.
I enjoy cycling very much. I learned it during the COVID-19 pandemic. After learning it, it became a hobby. It was very interesting because I could do it without any help. I was proud to be a cyclist because not everybody could ride a bike. Gradually, I saw that cycling improved my health. So, I would like to share my experience and the benefits of cycling with the audience. After the COVID-19 pandemic, we went through another difficult phase due to fuel shortages. We were able to face that positively too because we were cyclists. I went to school on a bicycle. My sister went to school on a bicycle. My father went to work on a bicycle. We didn't wait at fuel queues a single day. We were able to save time. We kept the remaining fuel in the car in case of emergency. Cycling is mainly an aerobic activity, which means your heart, blood vessels, lungs all get a workout. You will breathe deeper, perspire, and experience increased body temperature levels, which will improve your overall fitness level. But not only physical health benefits could be achieved by cycling. You could also achieve mental health benefits by cycling too. Further, you could develop your social skills. You could achieve physical health benefits by cycling such as increased cardiovascular fitness, prevention or management of disease, decreased body fat levels, improved muscle strength and flexibility, strengthened bones, improved joint mobility, and more. You could also achieve some mental health benefits by cycling, such as decreased stress levels, improved posture and coordination, reduced anxiety and depression, boosting your self-esteem, and more. You could also develop your social skills by cycling, such as improved social interaction, environmental responsibility, boosting your confidence, and many more. Further, it is advisable that you use your bicycle for short distance traveling. For example, if you want to buy bread, don't use a four-wheeler vehicle because there may not be sufficient parking facilities. It also prevents traffic. But not only that, cycling also does not pollute the environment because it does not emit harmful gases. I would like to share some interesting facts about the cycling nation. Netherlands is a country where people use bicycles for their day-to-day traveling. As a nation, they promote cycling in order to reduce accidents. They have separate roads built for cyclists. 35,000 kilometer long roads are there. Around 22 million bicycles are there for the use of around 17 million people. Further, as a nation, they are able to reduce health costs due to healthy people. How many of you know how to ride a bicycle? How many of you have a bicycle? How many of you have sufficient space to ride a bicycle? If your answer is no, that isn't an issue. Learning how to ride a bicycle is very easy.
You just need a little guidance. If somebody has financial issues, you could buy a bike that fits your budget. Further, you could use easy payment schemes, borrow from neighbors or relatives. If not, you could assemble a bicycle using spare parts at a very low cost. If you don't have sufficient space to learn, you could go to the nearest public ground and practice. Even I didn't have sufficient space to learn at first, but luckily we had a private lane which was used by our neighbors. If you're interested, all your other problems could be solved. So, I invite all the audience who are not cyclists to become a cyclist and enjoy the benefits of cycling. But at last but not least, I would like to share a quote with you all. Albert Einstein once said, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving."
Our next speaker has a dream to be the president of Sri Lanka. And you know what? My instincts say yes, he will. Let's welcome our last speaker, Visura Ratnayaka, on stage to talk about conservative political culture and Sri Lanka.
Contested from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. R. Premadasa was elected president with 50.43% of the votes, while Sirimavu Bandaranaike only obtained 44.95%. The poll to elect the third executive president of the country took place in 1994. Presidential contender of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party on that occasion was Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga, who won the election by a percentage of 62.28%, while UNP candidate Srimati Sananka only managed 35.91%. The 62.28% of the votes obtained by former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga is by far the highest percentage recorded by any president in the history of Sri Lanka. Kumaratunga contested for a second term in 1999. The 1978 Constitution introduced the executive presidency, with the first presidential election of the country held in 1982. At the time, J.R. Jayawardena, contesting from the United National Party, acquired a percentage of 52.91% of votes, while his opponent Hector Kobakadu, representing the SLFP, only managed 39.7%. During the country's second presidential election held in 1988, the then Prime Minister Ranasinghe Premadasa contested from the UNP, while Sirimavu Bandaranaike contested from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. R. Premadasa was elected president with 50.43% of the votes, while Sirimavu Bandaranaike only obtained 44.95%. The poll to elect the third executive president of the country took place in 1994. Presidential contender of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party on that occasion was Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga, who won the election by a percentage of 62.28%, while UNP candidate Srimati Sananka only managed 35.91%. The 62.28% of the votes obtained by former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga is by far the highest percentage recorded by any president in the history of Sri Lanka. Kumaratunga contested for a second term in 1999, where she obtained 51.12% of the votes, defeating Ranil Wickramasinghe, who managed only 42.71% of the votes. In 2005, Mahinda Rajapaksa entered the presidential race, representing the United People's Freedom Alliance, with his opponent being UNP's Ranil Wickramasinghe. Rajapaksa edged out Wickramasinghe with 50.29% of the votes, with his rival managing 48.43%. Rajapaksa sought a second term in 2010 opposite former commander of the army, Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca. Mahinda Rajapaksa obtained 57.88%, overpowering his former army commander, who only mustered 40.15%. Incumbent President Maithripala Sirisena's bid to become the sixth executive president of Sri Lanka in 2015 saw him contesting from the New Democratic Front. His opponent was Mahinda Rajapaksa. Sirisena obtained 51.28% of the votes and does not seek a second term.
Now you have watched a video about something. So, I would like to ask a question from you all. What can you understand by watching this video? I know that some may think like this. It's just a video about politics or something. But some may think that it's a video that shows some important facts about the topic that I'm going to share with you today. Yes, definitely I will agree with your second idea. So, today the topic that I'm going to share with you is the conservative politics culture helps to develop Sri Lanka. When I say that word politics, I know that many people hate that word, as well as some may think that we don't need politics to develop our country. But according to my point of view, I think that for each and every country, there should be a clear politics culture to develop that country very well. So, my audience, among those haters, I'm a really big fan of politics, especially Sri Lankan politics. There's a reason for it. When I was in grade 5, it means in 2019, one day I watched a video about Sri Lankan Parliament. In that video, there was a minister who was speaking very loudly with a self-pride. After watching that video, I also thought that one day I can speak like this. One day I can have such a great personality like this. One day I can develop my country if I can be in that parliament. So that was the turning point where I started to love that subject called politics. So, my audience, do you all want to know that who was the minister? He was Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa. In that time period, he was my favorite politician. So from this picture, I think that you can understand how I love that person, but now he is not my favorite politician. So, before going to talk about more details and more information about politics, is there anyone who can give a simple definition for politics? I think there's no one, but there are many complex definitions as well as complex quotes about politics. For an example, Mr. Otto von Bismarck once told that politics is the art of possibility, as well as the former USA President Mr. Abraham Lincoln told that the debate between parties having power is called as politics. But in my point of view, I think that politics is an activity that associates with the governance of a country or area. So each and every country has its own politics culture. Sri Lanka also has its own politics culture. So, when we are doing politics, we can divide this subject into major sections. Therefore, again, I would like to ask a question. Is there anyone who can divide this subject into major sections? I think there's no one. Okay, I will divide. When we are doing politics, the main thing that we should gain is power. So, power is one of a major section of this politics. Not only power, but also we should have democracy, we should have parties, we should have elections, such as presidential elections, general elections, etc. So, from all these sections, I would like to deeply share about Sri Lankan presidential elections history. While discussing those elections, I would like to compare how those politicians developed our country during their each time period. So, at last, you will get a clear idea about what has happened to our country now. What has happened to our country's economy now. Okay. After the Constitution of 1978 Second Republic, Mr. J.R. Jayawardena was selected as the first executive president in our country in 1982. During his time period, he introduced a new economic concept called open economic concept. After introducing that concept, many foreign goods and merchandise were imported to our country. So the current economy system was fully changed, as well as in his time era, struggles like Black July was begun in our country. So, however, to develop our country economically, socially, religiously, and politically, only he obtained $1.2 million as foreign loan. So, after the time period of Mr. J.R. Jayawardena, Mr. Ranasinghe Premadasa was appointed as the second executive president in 1988. During his time period, our parents and grandparents know that struggle of JVP as well as the Tamil Eelam terrorist war were ongoing. So, to gain more weapons for Sri Lankan armies as well as to develop our country, he obtained $4.5 million as foreign loan. So, but unfortunately, in his time period, various individuals received excessive bribes and commissions from our country's economy. So, our country's economy was gradually deteriorating. After the time period of Mr. Ranasinghe Premadasa, Mrs. Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumartunga, who was the first female president in the world, was appointed as the third and fourth executive president in our country because she ruled our country from 1994 to 2005. In her time period, the Tamil Eelam terrorist war was continued fiercely. But in her time period, her government obtained $7.5 billion as foreign loan, but she was only able to repay $1.5 billion for those foreign countries. In her time period also, we are unlucky to say that some politicians took huge money from our country's projects. For an example, during her time period, her government introduced a new project called Utturu Kareta Navodaya. From that project, a famous politician in that time period took 1 million rupees as a commission. So now what can you understand? Okay, I will ask that question from you later. After the time period of Mrs. Chandrika Bandaranaike, Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa, who was my favorite politician in that time, but now he is not, was appointed as the fifth and sixth executive president in our country because he ruled our country from 2005 to 2015. During his time era, he was able to finish that Tamil Eelam terrorist war in 2009. After finishing that war, he and his government were started to develop our country. He built new schools, new harbor, new airport. Not only those things, but also his government introduced a new highway road system in our country. At last, he was able to develop our country economic growth rate from minus 3.9 to plus 4.7. But again, we are lucky to say that in his time period also, some politicians took huge money from these projects. For an example, Mr. 10% is also one such person. After the time period of Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa, Mr. Maithripala Sirisena, can you all remember now? He was appointed as the seventh executive president in our country in 2015. During his time period, a series of financial irregularities as well as bribery were taken place in our country. The best example for that is the bond scam of Sri Lankan Central Bank. The court and other most important reports state that this has caused a loss of 10 billion rupees for Sri Lankan government. as well as the court has revealed some politicians, some famous politicians in that time period were involved in this case. Okay. After the time period of Mr. Maithripala Sirisena, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who is the brother of Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa, was selected as the 8th executive president in our country in 2019. During his time period, can you all remember that the COVID-19 virus was spreading throughout the country? But somehow his government was able to prevent it. But suddenly his government increased the taxes. His government increased the prices of food items. Not only food items but also other items such as fuel, etc. So from all these things, the people in our country were severely affected. But politicians, they lived in a comfortable life. So this was seen by the people in our country. So they started to protest against for this. At last, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa was resigned in 2022 from his presidency. Right. Now I will ask that question. What can you understand? Is there anyone? No. Okay. I can guarantee that now you have a clear idea about what has happened to our country, especially what has happened to our country's economy. So this conservative politics culture as well as some politicians are one of the main reason for our country's economic inflation. So as Sri Lankans, we should change this typical pattern. For that, we can do many things. For an example, when we are selecting members or else when we are selecting representatives for parliament, we should be tactful, we should be intelligent, as well as we should have a prior study on them before we select them to parliament, instead of sending the same politician to parliament in every year, like some of our past Sri Lankans have done this. In the past, some of Sri Lankans thought that, for an example, I have voted for this party, political party, so I should continue voting for this party. So, not only those things, they have done many silly things. In Sinhala, there's a famous phrase for that. Mama කැපුවත් නිල්, mama කැපුවත් කොළ, mama කැපුවත් රතු. Likewise, they think, but those concepts are not useful in this present society. According to present society, we should be smart to choose the correct representative for parliament, as well as we should create a new politics culture that brings the prosperity to our country, as well as we should create a new politics system that brings prosperity to the citizen in our country. At last, the message that I want to give you is, let's all build a new Sri Lanka with economically, politically, socially and religiously developed. Thank you.
I would now like to cordially invite our esteemed judges to the stage to share your valuable evaluation and insights on the performances of our speakers.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank you, Shahareen and the team for inviting me to judge this competition. It's an honor and I really enjoyed the whole program. I never realized that these students had so much talent in them and it was actually amazing. And I really had a lot of difficulty in deciding the best performer. But of course, I have chosen. I was supposed to select only one speaker for the day, but they are like all so good in their performance. I think I'll give a runner-up as well. Okay? Right, so comments-wise, I would like to just give my feedback in blocks. So if I speak about Setun, Digayu and Inesh, I saw a very good performance in y'all. Your speech content was really good. Idea selection was excellent. What I would like to suggest is to have a little bit more confidence in yourself and to have spontaneity when you're speaking and to develop more language fluency. But for the first time, I think this is the first time you all have this event. For the first time, you all did your best. So I saw that enthusiasm in you, and the choice of topics were really great, and you were able to use the stage to the best of the ability to show your performance. So well done, children. Then, addressing Dulya, Sanuki, Isita, Yuhas, Saif, Deumi, Seansa and Sandeep or Sandeep. Sorry if I'm making mistakes in the name. Sandeep, it's a girl. Okay. So I have just categorized y'all as very good performance. So here again, you showed a lot of confidence and you had a lot of energy, and the subject matter that you all have chosen, it was really appealing, and you all projected your speech well to the audience. And you have structured your speech with a good flow of words, and the sequence was also good. And you had skills to bring out the meaning, and it was very entertaining. Thank you, children. Then, as excellent speakers, the very best, which I really had a big struggle to select the very best. So among the excellent speakers who I could award distinctions, there is Bulani, Danaya, Inara, Dahamdi, Supipi, Dihanya and Visura. So all of y'all have got 81 and more. And I had a very big struggle to decide the best speaker, and therefore I have given like very close marks. So you all have a natural talent for public speaking, I must tell you. And please, all of you, you have to progress in this field. And this excellent lot, your body language was perfect. Your communication skills were good. Of course, there were little mistakes here and there, but that's normal. And the confidence that I saw in you, it is unbelievable for the first time. I think even the politicians in Sri Lanka and the speakers who have done public speaking for a long time, because I'm an examiner, I examine all the time, I didn't see that. And today, for the first time, I have seen it in these children. It's naturally born. And very good facial expressions and vocal expressions. And more than anything, their confidence. Right? So, I have selected a runner-up, though I was only supposed to do the best speaker. So, I would like to give the runner-up award to Inara. And at the same time, I would like to announce the best speaker of the day, who actually brought life at the end to the whole performance, Visura. I think you'll be a good politician. And thank you, all of you. And I must give the others also some advice. It was your first time, and it was a challenging situation that we faced. And in fact, she was very neutral because she is part of the whole thing, so I had to decide on my own. And going forward, children, you all have a lot of potential, and you have that energy in you, so make sure that you go to your highest in this field. Good luck to all of you.
Now I invite Miss Tanya Fernando to give away the certificate and the voucher to our runner-up, Inara Tahani. And the best speaker of the day, Visura Surat. Thank you, madam. Now, I invite Ms. Nazira Qasim to give away the certificate of the participants. Setun Galage. Utkarsha. Sanuki Sandalima. Fatima Dihania. Supipi Sidangana. Digayu Devram. Isita Imandev. Dahamdi Diansa. Bulani Tehansa. Inesh Bandara. Yuhas Vindev. Saif Qasim. Sahansa. Fatima Danya. Siansa Lizaldi. Sandeepa Petni. Thank you, madam. It's the end of the day's program. I would like to invite teacher Tarushi Pahasarani to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. It is with great joy that I stand before you to deliver the vote of thanks. On behalf of the entire organizing team of Bright Side Academy, first, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our dear judges, Ms. Tania Fernando and Ms. Nasira Qasim, for your time and valuable feedback. We really appreciate it. A special thank you to the chairman of Broadway Education and the guest speakers for being an encouragement to us. Thank you for all the participants for your amazing talks today. You have done a wonderful job. Thank you Thank you, dear parents, for your unwavering support and to the audience for being a strength to us. Let's keep encouraging these talented kids. Thank you all and have a nice day.
To mark the end of the program, please rise for the national anthem.
Sri Lanka.